Hey everyone, welcome to 99.6 The Howl, episode 39, the penultimate episode of this season. What a great season it's been. Can't believe it's over. There's one more game Saturday against Minnesota, but Coyotes had a couple of games against Dallas and the Vancouver Canucks. So start with Dallas. Terrible news. Oliver Ekman-Larsson had to leave the Coyotes to go tend to family matters. His mother passed away. She's been battling with cancer throughout the whole season, and good on Oliver to keep that a secret from the media. Never talked about it. Never used it as an excuse. I know me especially was hard on Oliver this season. You can tell he wasn't playing up to his skill level. Something was eating at him. We all hypothesized an injury or a lack of passion, but now we know he was dealing with some personal stuff. So I'd like to thank Oliver for the season, and sorry for anything I said in the videos, criticizing his play. But he'll be back training camp next season, ready to go, which we need. Verbata and Doan sit the game out against Dallas. So you got Oliver, Verbata, and Doan not playing in this game. I mean, the veterans, it was like two veterans on the team and everyone else under 23, 24 years old. It was such a young lineup. Such a weird lineup, too. A bunch of line changes, lineups. Keller was with McGinn. So it was a weird night for the Coyotes. They managed to push it to overtime. They came back down 2-1. For a young group, that's great to see that they battled back. Unfortunately, they lost in overtime. Smith played great. The two goals Dallas scored in regulation were just terrible turnovers by D'Angelo. Yeah, like really bad turnovers. Thankfully, D'Angelo smarting up against Vancouver. Tippett didn't really bench D'Angelo. He just kept him out there. I guess without Oliver Ekman-Larsson, you can't really do much. You can't punish the guy when you got 5 or 6 defensemen on your bench. But it's a learning experience for D'Angelo. Thankfully, the next game, he turned it around, played a great game against Vancouver. Domi and Duclair are just clicking. I mean, that goal to tie it up 2-2 against Dallas. Domi from behind the net finds an open Duclair. They've been playing awesome hockey the past 2 weeks, and it carried over into Vancouver. That line, Domi, Burmistrov, and Duclair just clicking on all cylinders. Domi had 2 points. Domi looked on fire last night against Vancouver, wanting the puck. Duclair wanting the puck, carrying the puck, using their vision to find open guys like Verbata, finding Goligoski on an open point, leading to goals. And great to see them back, and great to see Duclair having confidence again. He's really starting to play like he did last year. Obviously, unfortunately, it's the end of the season, so you hoped that Tippett put Domi and Duclair together earlier in the season, but what are you going to do? Domingue last night against Vancouver played awesome. Even the defense in front of Domingue clearing rebounds. Vancouver never had a second opportunities. There was always that one shot, and boom, cleared away. Connaughton, Shen, great job cleaning up the house. Shen with his first goal this season. With 2 games left in the season, he gets his first goal as a Coyote. Great to see him smiling after that goal. Everyone joking around with Luke. Just he does so much on the back end. It's great to see him finally rewarded with a big goal to get the Coyotes rolling last night. Coyotes had a 4-1 lead. They end up winning 4-3. So a lot of clenching in the last couple minutes there, but Coyotes didn't really falter. The Canucks came pretty hard, but they didn't push their game to 11 to try and tie it up. Coyotes, one more game Saturday against Minnesota, the finale. Hansel, White, Dubnyk coming home for one last time for the season. Doan, probably his last game. Doan played awesome in against Vancouver on the top line with Dvorak and Perlini. They really meshed well, hounding pucks, spending time in the offensive zone, not really defending much, which is good to see out of Shane Doan. It's going to be a sad moment, probably his last game in the NHL and last game as a Arizona Coyote. Just, yeah, it'll be a really emotional game for everyone involved, and it's great that Hansel is there on the opposite team. Obviously, he's going to be there for Doan's last game. Ekman Larson, sad to see that he'll miss Doan's last game, but I'm sure they had a very emotional goodbye when Ekman Larson had to go back home to Sweden. So playoffs next week. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping Minnesota loses now, so the Coyotes draft pick is even higher. Minnesota's been faltering a bit. I mean, the Coyotes have a better record than Minnesota since the trade deadline, thanks to Dvorak stepping up and all the rookies stepping up, Duclair and Domi playing to their skill level. So, who knows? Maybe Minnesota gets kicked out first round, and that pick is a high draft pick, and the Coyotes could do something with that. 2 draft picks in the top 20. Why not trade one of them? Get an immediate impact on your team for next season. Talking about Keller, Tippett benched him in the third period against the Stars. He didn't play against Vancouver last night. Not really sure what's going on there. I knew it was a bad sign when they called Keller to join the Coyotes and play hockey games. Just I guess they're just trying to get him acclimated to the game and showing Keller what he needs to improve on in the summer to compete against these guys. Obviously, we're not looking for Keller to bring his skill and his number 3 or 4 overall draft pick caliber immediately to the team in the last 6 games of the season. It's not going to happen. So maybe just a learning experience for Keller, and he comes into training camp bigger and more confident. And just look at Domi; he wasn't really confident in training camps and preseason all those years. But now look at him. Domi just controls the play, always wants to puck and creates plays. He's a bona fide playmaker, and Keller could learn a lot from Domi, even though they're 2 or 3 years apart. Domi could act like a mentor to Keller. And Strome coming next season, and it's going to be a very interesting draft and expansion draft with Vegas coming into the mix. So it's going to be an exciting summer. Expect some videos next summer talking about those things. But that's it for me. One more video to close out the season. I've done a lot of research for you guys, so expect a pretty informational video for the 40th and final video of the season. That's it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.